When you look at the motion,
When it comes to kicking, the measure of success is simple.
the perfect kick is one that goes through the uprights. Look at that.
It just might be the most underappreciated play in football.
You know, the athleticism, big thing is leg speed.
The voice of experience.
I can tell you whether it's going to be good, miss to the right or left.
The new assistant coach just might help Irwin go the distance.
Oh!
He told me to get wider on my stance when I do field goals, and it improved it by at least 10, 15 yards.
It would be easy to question whether he's even qualified.
Now, that first step with the right foot was long. I cannot physically demonstrate to you what to do. Nice snap.
That's crazy that he knows about kicking, but he is in a wheelchair.
Move your foot in up here when you mark it off.
Blevins has been there,
Just trust me, son.
but hasn't done that.
I was born with cerebral palsy that primarily affects the left side of my body. That was all soccer.
He's never kicked a ball before.
Never played it down, but always in the game.
When I was 4 years old, I loved football. I knew I wanted to make my living in football.
His mother made this scrapbook
Never forget these.
of her son's big dreams come true.
Sports Illustrated, this stuff I haven't seen in a long time.
It all started when he was an 8th grader. A Virginia high school coach made Doug a graduate assistant, the closest Doug could ever get to playing.
My knowledge of the game exceeded my classmates that were playing.
And that knowledge helped level the playing field, realizing
That if I was going to make it to the NFL, I'd have to have a specialty.
the man who never walked, intent on going pro.
A fine NFL kicker.
The ultimate salesman, he convinced the Jets to hire him as a kicking consultant in '94.
I'm right here.
Eventually hired by Coach Jimmy Johnson of the Miami Dolphins, who hadn't even met his coach. On the first day, Johnson actually thought Blevins was a visitor with special needs. They gave him the royal treatment.
I had a hat and some candy, and then I told him I was Doug Blevins, and he told me I wasn't.
He spent 6 years with the Dolphins
Yeah, he didn't know.
and privately coached some of the best legs in the biz.
I had to demonstrate to you or demonstrate to the athlete that I knew what I was talking about.
Prized pupils include David Akers, who just set the record for most field goals in a season, and Adam Vinatieri, whose game winner in Super Bowl 36 made him a legend.
We had worked on that over and over.
As a guru, earning many nicknames in the kicking game.
Kicking Yoda, the kick whisperer.
Not bad for the guy whose backup plan was stand-up comedy, which speaks to his outlook on what some call a disability.
I would tell stories about my life and funny things that have actually happened to me because it's been real comical, it really has.
Sometimes it's a wonder how he finds that humor.
It's been more of an inconvenience in my life than anything else. I've overcome it.
As Blevins rolls in, with each set of players, there's a different set of skepticism, hoping players understand the privilege of just kicking a ball.
I still regret that I won't know what that feels like. Y'all never experienced that. But you can't dwell on that.
It makes me think about a lot of things that I have that I can do that I bet you he wishes he could do.
Hey, Brian, you got a good leg. When you do that, all your power goes.
Doug wasn't a natural-born kicker,
You're not going to miss it because your leg comes around that way.
All right.
Trust it.
but as a coach, he lives vicariously through his players.
I mean, if somebody in a wheelchair can make it to the NFL,
Yeah, I can live with that, Tyler.
In his own way, splitting the uprights.
Great job, because who would believe it?
At Irwin, John Lee, News 13.
All right, who's got a formula for me?
Going to school helps us figure things out. We jot it down on paper.
Think about real-life applications.
Sometimes Connor Stroud refers to his textbook.
Force equals mass times acceleration.
As we get older, the questions get tougher.
They need to figure out how much force it's going to take to make a car move.
There comes a point when students think way beyond these walls.
Outside of 7th grade science class, in the real world.
Out here, Connor has a formula all his own.
I just try to walk at a normal speed.
If this were the only thing he did all day, it'd be enough to impress us. Teacher Katie Strug says it's a stunning trek across campus each day.
He's extraordinary.
It's not too far.
He has a drive. He has the heart of a lion.
His whole life seems like an uphill climb. After all, when he was younger, doctors weren't even sure Connor would be able to walk. After school, Connor commutes, taking a bus to the place he feels most at home.
Yeah, I like doing stuff that people don't think I can do.
At 3 feet tall, he's about as tall as the net.
I can't get really that much top spin, but like I just try to hit it hard.
No matter where he plays,
They're just like so amazed. I guess they just haven't seen it before and they're just like, they just don't know what to think.
And he loves it, probably more than any kid we've ever hit with.
his tennis coach is his mom, Rita.
He just has his lower leg, no hip joint, and no femurs. So it's very difficult even for him to walk.
And then this is like a squishy or like thing at the bottom, and I just like walk on that.
Connor moves around on what he calls stubbies,
Nice shot.
still not comfortable with prosthetic legs.
Well, it makes me slower and stuff, but I wear them when I go to like Disney World and stuff to get on rides. So yeah, I'm taller, so I get to go on rides.
But away from Space Mountain, he is always the center of attention.
Everybody will remember you
Second.
more than the best player, because, I mean, he's just different.
Connor doesn't just compete, he wins tournaments too.
It feels really good. It's better than losing.
I mean, we all have a disability. It's usually on the inside or a chip on your shoulder or, you know, something. Most people's disability you just can't see.
In a way, he was born to play. Dad Dewey was a former Clemson tennis star.
I'm very proud of him, of course, but I'm just happy for him that he enjoys doing that.
15 off.
Doctors say Connor exerts 3 times as much energy than his opponents,
Nice shot.
which makes him think.
I guess I could be a role model.
Now back in school, he's not really trying to set an example. Like everyone else, just trying to find his way. Honing the formula for success that's unique to him.
Let's figure it out.
I don't want to be like anybody else. I'm just happy the way I am.
Today is huge.
There's not a whole lot of fanfare at UNC Charlotte.
To even be out here and know that I'm able to run again is just a blessing for me.
Jeff, come on, Jeff.
Most competing here at the 49er Classic aren't exactly household names.
Juanita Lido from Charlotte.
It's a venue where Olympic hopefuls can gain momentum.
Look how smooth that is.
But they can also fall flat. Sometimes even Olympic heroes have something to prove.
How you feel?
In this case, Manteo Mitchell wants to be world class again.
I broke my leg in a race, and people expected my career to be over.
Right off the blocks, there were doubters. He trained in the mountains just to get back up to speed. But even as he healed at Western Carolina University, he never forgot the fame that came with pain.
August 9th at 11:35 a.m. will always be somewhere up there.
That's when he sprinted into Olympic lore. At the Summer Games in London last year, he became an American Idol after breaking his leg during his part of a relay, still finishing the race, allowing the U.S. to eventually take silver.
No one knew that my leg was broken but me, and of course God. But
Right, last 100, come on.
He came back to Western coach Danny
15.
Williamson
Finish strong, finish strong.
to make a run at Rio in 2016.
Building his base back up and everything.
how fast?
The road back feels like a marathon.
God almighty.
Getting back what he had is clearly a work in progress. The labor of love that leaves him breathless. And that big break follows.
I close my eyes for a split second and I try not to think about that moment.
2 months after returning home from London, Manteo finally realized what he's really running for.
Okay, buddy, let's take a look at you.
His son, just 4 months old.
He's so active. Like he does this all day. So when he's quiet, he's either watching that Mickey Mouse show or pooping.
And seeing the world through his baby boy.
We got a smart baby. Look how fat he is.
Simplifies everything.
That will eventually close up and it'll be in.
Yes. Any.
For a man with so much tolerance for pain.
It's all over. It's all over.
Watching his son receive shots really hurts.
Look what I got. The silencer. Having him, you know, there to like guide me is enough for me to go the extra mile to do a little bit better.
More motivation than any medal.
People say I inspire them, but he inspires me. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
His Olympic experience has given him international fame, but now as a father, he wants even more.
What I did was great, what I did was awesome, but what can I do now to build off of that?
Which brings us back to Charlotte, where fellow sprinter Jeff Hendricks is in awe of Mantio's speedy recovery.
Like I said, I look up to him as an idol, so it's amazing to me, honestly. You know, I think that it's the type of work that a true Olympian does, you know. They don't stop.
I got this tat 2 nights ago.
A tattoo of Olympic rings marks the spot of his famous broken leg.
It's so symbolic because I got it over the spot that I actually broke. So
finally feeling back to form.
Emmanuel Mitchell, lane 2.
Those neon shoes back in the fast lane. 7 long months on the comeback trail lead to 10 seconds.
Manio, come on, Manio. He's just cruising in.
So it's a new beginning. 219 days after the race that made him a star.
I'm just glad to be back.
Now, only more time will tell what he can add to that Olympic legacy.
Hard training, rehab.
In Charlotte.
Today is major for me.
John Lee, News 13.
One of my fishing buddies says that trout tend to live in gorgeous places, and he's right.
Here we go.
The fundamentals of fly fishing aren't always clear. It's not the final count that matters, but how you tackle the sport.
To fish is to hope, right?
Yeah.
Hope flows through Kathy Ackerman.
5 minutes into the water, we caught one. What, about that big?
But an hour later, she and instructor Brett Salter
You can just work it back behind you.
are still doing a lot of fishing.
I guess fishing and catching are 2 different things.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Even a leaf can reel her in for more.
Thought I had something, but I had a maple. This is just such an amazing weekend that I never would have dreamed.
Ooh, that was a good cast.
Thank you.
This after a real-life nightmare.
When you're in your 2nd round of chemo, about the last thing you're thinking about is signing up for anything.
But it led to something.
Look at that delicious fly. Come on.
This isn't just a fishing trip for women. It's also Kathy's first therapy session.
Beautiful.
What I found out about breast cancer is it sounds awful, but it brings as many wonderful things as it does awful things. And one of them has been this weekend.
More than a dozen women at this weekend retreat are in the same boat. They're learning to fish, but teaching each other.
You'd be amazed what's traveling right between your feet right now.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. Well, not literally, but...
There was just something so nice about, you know, showing up and knowing that it really didn't matter if you had eyelashes or if, you know, your hair was only a 1/4 of an inch long. It didn't matter because all of them knew what you had been through. And
when you leave this place, you carry the essence of the people you've been with.
Hello.
Treatment took its toll on Kathy. She finished chemotherapy only 3 months ago, yet she's been standing in this chilly river for hours.
All right, yeah, there we go. Now every day when I wake up, I stop and go. It's a great day.
Even if it's a one fish kind of day.
Caught a rock. The other side of cancer is better than the front side.
It's this.
Great attitude.
That keeps Kathy flying high.
I'll take this weekend with me because I've learned so much about how to go on with the rest of my life as a breast cancer survivor.
A survivor, casting for recovery.
And there's just something about being here and just being.